air? Winds. Winds. More air pressure means there is more air in an area. Less air pressure means there is less air in an area. So there is more air in the high pressure area and less air in the low pressure area. To equalize it, air moves from the place that has more air to the place that has less air. Thus, we can say that the air moves from a high pressure area to a low pressure area. Wind is the movement of air from a high pressure area to a low pressure area. Wind happens because of a difference in air pressure. If there is not a large difference in air pressure, we get a light breeze. If the difference in pressure is great, we have a strong wind. Remember the different pressure belts on the earth? There are 7 pressure belts in all. As wind blows from high pressure to low pressure, can you guess the way the wind must be blowing on earth? But the winds do not flow in a straight direction. Why does this happen? Remember, the earth is rotating. This causes some interesting things to happen. Let us see. Objects in the northern hemisphere are deflected a bit to their right, and objects in the southern hemisphere are deflected a bit to their left. So let us keep that in mind and draw the winds again. So the winds flow in an inclined direction. The flow direction of the winds on earth looks like a greater than sign. These winds blow all over the planet and so are also called planetary winds. Some of these winds have special names too. Let's see what they are. In the northern hemisphere, below the high pressure belt, which is a bit above the equator, we find winds blowing from a little to the east towards a little to the west. In the southern hemisphere, above the high pressure belt, which is located just below the equator, we also find that winds are blowing a little from the east towards a little to the west. Winds are named for the direction from which they start. As these winds start from the eastern side, they are also called easterlies. These easterly winds are also known as trade winds. Do you know why? A lot of ships that carried on trade used these winds to sail faster. Beyond this high pressure belt, in both the hemispheres, there is a low pressure belt near the poles. The winds blow a little from the west towards a little to the east. Since these winds start a little from the west and go towards the east, they are called westerlies. There is a high pressure belt in the polar regions. Winds blow from there towards the low pressure belt. These winds go a little from the east to a little to the west. These winds are called the polar easterlies as they start from the eastern direction. So now we know about the winds that blow all over the planet. Planetary winds are also known as permanent winds because they blow constantly throughout the year. But there are some localized winds also which blow in a small area. These are known as local winds. There are 2 kinds of local winds: mountain and valley breeze, sea and land breeze. Let us study them one by one. Mountain and valley breeze. During the day, the land near the top of the mountain heats up faster than the land in the valley. So the top of the mountain is warmer than the valley. So air pressure at the top is lower than air pressure at the bottom. Wind blows from high pressure to low pressure. So the wind blows from the bottom of the valley to the top of the mountain in the day. Since this wind blows from the valley, it is called valley breeze. In the evening, the mountain slopes cool faster than the valley floor. So the temperature at the top of the mountain is lower than the valley. So the air pressure at the top of the mountain is more than the air pressure in the valley. So the wind blows from the top of the mountain to the valley. Hence it is called a mountain breeze. So in the day we have valley breeze and in the night we have mountain breeze. Sea and land breeze. During the day, land gets heated by the sun much quicker than water does. So the air above land is hotter than the air over water. So the air pressure on land is lower than air pressure on water. So the wind blows from water to land in the day. So in the day, the wind blows from the sea to the land. This wind is called a sea breeze. At night, land cools down faster than water. So the water is warm and the land is cool. At night, the air pressure on land is higher than air pressure on water. So wind blows from land to water. At night, wind blows from land to water. This wind is called a land breeze. Thus, in the day in areas near the ocean, we have sea breezes, while in the evening, we have land breezes. Seasonal winds. There are winds that blow in particular seasons only. These are called seasonal winds. These winds change their directions in different seasons. The winds that bring rains in India are seasonal winds. Cyclones. Sometimes the air pressure in an area suddenly drops while the surrounding area has high pressure. When this happens, the air from the surrounding high pressure area starts moving into this low pressure area. But this air comes in a circular manner. This is known as a cyclone. Winds in a cyclone blow anti-clockwise in the northern hemisphere and clockwise in the southern hemisphere. Cyclones generally are indicators of rain, clouds, and other forms of bad weather. In the year 1999, a cyclone killed 10,000 people in the state of Orissa. Think and discuss. Explain land breeze. Explain sea breeze. Explain mountain breeze. Explain valley breeze. How are the cyclones formed?